Okay, so what I was forgetting is you need to actually set it, since we are talking about just background, there is a background size, and if we change that to say like 200 and save it and then refresh, that makes our texture that is tiled stay in a fixed position. So the first tile is up here and it's tiling across the spans all the way down the page. Now obviously that's an image that's, doesn't work that great with our text obviously. So the color should have to be changed. But you can see, yeah. All right, so that's just the sidebar. Now let's deal with the fonts. Now I've got my fonts open here, and this is the font that I used, and it is fortunately available. It's called Press Start 2P, and you can see if I click on it, I can go right to it, and if I hit select, this is off of Google Fonts, and what's really cool is right here, I can go in and specify the CSS here, right? So what I need to do, it's super simple. Copy the link to the CSS style sheet, which is being served up from Google's own domain, fonts.google. I just stick that right in here, just like I have my other style sheet in the header. So now I've got a style sheet here, and it's linking to that, just like I'm linking to my own service or directory level CSS sheets. And now when I go back here, and I can just specify that I want this font in my styles for the body. So we can change everything wholesale just like that. So in our nav, we want a different font. So let's just do a font family, and I'm going to do a Myriad Pro with a fallback to a serif font. Okay, and that would be the same thing here. That's going to fall back. And then this, I also want font size on my nav to be 2EM, and then I want my nav to have some margin. Let's say left is going to be 20 pixels, and then some padding as well. Just in case. We're probably not going to I'm not going to have time to do anything more. And the header will just take the body font size. So let's just leave that alone, and let's update. And let's look here. Refresh the page. Oh, let's go ahead and get rid of that tiled image and go back to our background color that matches our wireframe, and we don't need a size. All right, save, refresh, and okay, so now it's starting to come along. You can see our nav. Let's see, margin. Let's just do margin. Hypix auto. That's because, okay, right. That is because we're not dealing with the A's. So the A's are what are separated here. So we need the margins on those. The A's links. No? Let's go back and look at our HTML. So the nav. Oh. Let's just copy this over. No? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Is it just the padding? I'm having a brain fart about, no? Oh. It's that, okay. So forget the auto, okay. All right, so you can see that's affecting the buttons as well. So we probably want to actually make these buttons. So let's just see here. Yeah. So we probably want to set up a class here. Let's see, the A should be well, here, let me just see this one more time. If I do this in the nav, let's comment this out. Okay, back here. Let's do this for a second here. So if I put dot nav instead of A, or dot nav, and let's see, this should work. But we got to add this to every one of these nav links, which is fine. There's only 3, 4. All right, save, refresh, and what did not work? A class equals nav. Dot nav. There we go. Okay. Ahref index. Class equals nav home. And if I take that out and save it, it should go. Okay, so it seems like it's working fine in the other ones. So it just maybe, okay. All right, so yeah, as long as you have that class nav, and so along the way, if it's structured like this, and let's maybe make it a little bigger. If I put on soft wrap, you can see, okay, so I've established that the link for the nav is a class, right? A class nav, and then through all the way into, so don't get confused by this nav and this nav. This nav is just a label that I created. It could be butter or sausage, it could be any word, eggs. And as long as this dot is followed by that exact word, it's going to have that effect. So let's do text decoration none, and we save that and watch what happens. We want no lines underneath it, so if I refresh it, the lines go away. I do want a long line across it, so let's go to the style, let's do a bottom border, and this will be on the actual nav itself, so bottom, border bottom, and let's do 2 pixels, and then we want that red color, which is in our button, which is this one. So this is about all I'm going to do. I'm going to have to wrap it up. So let's, oops, wrong one. You can see, so if I save that, the only thing I haven't done that I wanted to show you, oops, border bottom, solid. There we go. Okay, and it's not positioned great, and I probably want to put some margins on it. Border bottom, border width. Is that it? That's just the width. Oh, well then overall margin, if we crease that, say 60 to 100. Okay. Well, so this is CSS. It can be time consuming, and you have to figure out things sort of block by block, line by line. But you could see that in that short time, we've gotten something. Like I have to, still go into the header, and let's do the font size. Let's do 2M. Let's see what happens there. Okay, that didn't have any effect. Oh. It's an H1 tag. So the H1 style should override it. Do I have to put that above the body? Let's try another way. Font size, 60 pixels. Okay. All right, so obviously we have our nav margin problem. So let's not do a top margin of that intensity. Let's just do 20. And the left and right, top and bottom 20, left and right 80. And yes, 20 is even too high. Oh, so there's a padding. Okay, and then I need a drop shadow on the text. The text shadow, vertical. So let's do 6 pixels, and let's do again 0.1 pixels, so a little bit soft but not noticeably, and then the gray, and then refresh. Oh. Text shadow. Two values and no commas. Yep. There we go. Okay. So that's about all I'm going to do. The sounds are already available. If you can see them here, you just need audio controls. And I sent you all information, a good playlist on animation. So try that out. Have fun with it. It's good times. You can see that, you know, once you get things styled, of course I had other things to deal with, but it affects all your pages as long as your CSS is pointing to the right on each page. You know, you need to have that at the very top, that link relative style sheet, or it won't work. Okay, signing off, and I will see you in class.